Hall of Famer Phil Negro and 24-year big league knuckleballer Charlie Hough taught me alongside Cy Young Award winner RA Dickey. These are the secrets of the knuckleball.
Yeah, it is fun. And it is fun to win a game anywhere. Little League, right? Do you go get some ice cream after you win a game?
We get Chipotle.
Chipotle, even better.
Baby.
Yeah, you need a little extra. I got some right here. Wow. So's Chrissy now.
Hey Charlie, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
And I got to demonstrate it to you. So, so you always did this. You're the only guy I ever saw lean in. Was that what were you doing there? Was that a way of calibrating?
I'll tell you
was
something.
That a way? Are you?
I was a
Has anybody ever asked you that question?
Okay, yeah. And give me your glove. I'll tell you. I'll show you why I did that.
Okay. Because it has bothered me.
I was a regular pitcher, with a big old wind-up like we used to have in the 60s, And then my shoulder was bad, killing me. I mean, I'm throwing, ow. I was in Double A, all right? Guys taught me a knuckleball. So I saw on TV Hoyt Wilhelm wind up like this.
Yes.
Okay? And I thought, well, that's how I should throw a knuckleball. So I changed my wind-up from tall, big, and wind-up to Wilhelm style, like that. Well, I started throwing it AAA. Made the AAA club in spring training, and by August I was in the big leagues. Okay, I'm throwing a knuckleball first time in my life, less than a year. I'm in the big leagues, and I pitched pretty good for 7, 8 years with the Dodgers, maybe more. Might have been 9 years at that time, and I wasn't throwing good. My shoulder was killing me. I was throwing awful, and I went down to the bullpen one day with our pitching coach, and I said, it just doesn't feel right. They're not swinging at balls that go out of the zone. Okay, I'm throwing balls that are going, where's my guy across his body? You a little bit, somebody else. Boom, that move. Hard to repeat a knuckleball with that move. Hoyt Wilhelm could. I couldn't repeat it good enough. So I'm throwing, it's August one year, 1,000 degrees, Dodger Stadium. The wall used to be right about here, and now it's further back, but smoking hot. I threw for about 40 minutes, and I was so tired, and it was worse and worse and worse. And I had a ball in my glove, and I was just standing here talking to Red Adams, our pitching coach, and I was like this, and I went, okay, Red, one more. And I went, I don't know why I did that, and I did just like that. I stopped, and I said, I got it. I said, I got it. That's what I want to feel, that way. Okay? I didn't even throw the ball. So the question is, why did I do that? And I don't know. I was tired, and I felt perfect. And I never threw a pitch without, put the ball in my glove, man on the base, put the ball in my glove. Boom. I wanted that feeling of going straight ahead. And it cut down the spin, the pull, which is also a push. Right? All of a sudden, I'm this way. So now, instead of being able to pitch 1 or 2 innings, I can pitch more. I can throw more strikes. And when I went to Texas, I got a chance to start, and that was the difference. I mean, I won a couple 100 games and I was 33 at that time. So I mean, I went in a stretch, one day changed my delivery to Hoyt Wilhelm. Like 8 years later, I changed it to that. never switched again. That was it.
Yeah, because I did notice in watching some film from the Dodgers to the Rangers that you started going over your head.
Yeah. Yeah. But I did that before. In other words, everybody that pitched in the 60s had some sort of line, you know, because the guys that taught me to pitch were pitching in the 50s and 40s.
Okay.
So they all had these big wind-ups and stuff. So that's the reason I did. I didn't do it for any particular reason other than I was tired. And it showed me, I went, wow, that's what I want to do right there. I don't want to look at home plate like this anymore. I want to look at home plate like I'm heading there. Pretty simple, you know, for me. And it worked for the knuckleball. And it ended up being more like Phil Niekro than Hoyt Wilhelm. Different style. Guys have done this with different styles. You know, guys have thrown it higher, lower, violent, Wakefield flip. Stephen Wright, just like, I think Stephen Wright's the best I've ever coached. I think he was better than RA and Timmy, you know. And it was just a shame. He had horrible luck, but wow, doing things right, bang, it was pretty good, pretty darn good.
Right?
Huh?
Stephen Wright's still young for a knuckleballer.
Yeah, yeah. He had so many injuries. I mean, knee, elbow, back, everything was hurting. You know, and you can't pitch hurting bad. You know, I tried it for a few years, and it's really hard. I mean, pitching in the big leagues is hard enough when you feel great, but when you're hurting, not very easy to do. Yeah. Anybody got a question? Another question?
I have another one.
Okay.
Well, I've watched you. I'm the only one probably here. So you were, especially like I watched your video from the All-Star game in '86.
Okay.
And you were notorious, and I remember somebody commenting this. I mean, maybe you even said it yourself, but you were a quick pitcher when there was someone on base.
Oh yeah. I tried to. I guess the word would be cheat. I tried to cut the rules as close as I could. Yeah. Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, because I had to, because I was a long arm pitcher throwing a slow pitch.
Yeah.
The base runner was always a threat to steal on me. So after I went to that kind of move,
Yeah.
I started, that was my stop. So I could just go from there. And I also had that to pick the first. So it's just things I kept doing, messing with. How do I do this? How do I stop them from running? And that's what I fell into. You know, and I don't really teach it to anybody. It just fit me. It helped me. But I've never taught anybody to stop like I did, to look like I did. It looked awful. When I watch it on video, I go, oh, that's not, you know, why didn't I just sit there?
Now, when I watched you, I just thought it was,
Yeah.
I enjoyed watching because you were unique.
Yeah.
And when
Yeah.
I was a kid, you know, I asked my dad, I was like, what is this guy doing? And he's like, well, he's Charlie Hough. He throws a knuckleball.
Yeah.
That was the first time I heard it. And it was just
All
unique.
of my stuff I kind of fell into.
It was just a unique style, and that's why I think a
There
lot of
weren't people teaching me to do things. Okay? There weren't, you know, the first time I ever had an actual pitching coach all year was in the big leagues. We didn't have a pitching coach on the team in the minor leagues. Now, we had a pitching coach that went around, but I wasn't shown a whole lot of things other than, here, hold it like that. Yeah, like that? Okay. What do I do? And he said, throw it out of your hand. Huh? I could throw it. But nobody taught me to do what I did. You know, the things I fell into to get better. I was just trying to compete. Yeah. And I wasn't all that good, you know, compared to some of these guys.
Charlie, you worked with Tim Wakefield, you know, his finger was always up like that.
Yeah.
Was there a reason why he did it? Was it to lock his wrist? Or what was the...
Timmy's biggest thought was lock his wrists. Yes.
So like
I couldn't do it.
that pinky up
Yeah.
helped him to...
I guess. I really don't know. I just know that when we talked, you know, we first talked, he was in the minor leagues. Then he went up and he's a star for Pittsburgh. And then the next year he can't get anybody out and they end up releasing him. And when we talk about coming back, he told me that he felt right, like almost forcing his hand back. Wow, that feels awful to me. I just threw it, just loose, relax. But we're all trying to do this the same. You know, Phil was real short arm action. Hoyt, Wilhelm, real long. Tommy Candiotti, long. Joe Necro, longer. You got to fit what you throw and then come up with the grip that works. You know, all the guys have been taught a pretty good grip here. Now it's, how do I do it? And it's not going to be the same for him and him exact. It's going to be a little different. That's why there's so many different looking guys pitching in the big leagues. You know, and there's some little guys, and a lot of them are big, that's for sure. You know, tall, and use that length, not the height so much, but the length to shorten that 60 feet, 6 inches. How far can you get down the mound and let it go? I mean, velocity. It pays to be able to throw it. Or Randy Johnson, you know, most of us are letting go here, and Randy Johnson's throwing fast anyway, and he's letting it go from here. Wow, what an advantage! But
And he's not sane either, so you never know.
huh?
Randy Johnson's not all there up here either, so
Yeah, he is. He is. Yeah, yeah.
nice guy.
I had the good
just
fortune.
seemed crazy.
I coached him one day. I had him in the All-Star game in 2001. He started the game for us, and I was with the Mets, coaching the National League team, and he started the game, and I'm in the bullpen with him, and I'm seeing him throw it about 100 miles an hour from halfway to the catcher. I don't know how anybody could touch it off it. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah,
Coach,
yeah,
you had a really good pickoff move.
yeah.
Was there any secret to that, and is there any? When you're
Okay.
knuckleball, do you
I did some things a little goofy. I got real wide, you know, maybe about like that, set. And my thought was put weight into my toe here so I could push. Well, and then a short stride with this foot and a longer stride with that one. So we see a lot of kids today that do a jump kind of thing, and right foot goes here, and you're letting go of the ball from back here. And I want it to be from there. And the key, I guess, would be going from the glove, wherever you set, never going down. Tick, 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 he gets back. Up and throw. So it's, for me, it was like, throw. So I could get rid of it pretty quick. And that was it. And quick feet. You know, you have to be somewhat athletic to quick feet. Nose to the target. You know, Don Drysdale. You come down to the minor leagues and work, you know, talk to the kids, me, and he would say, nose to the target. You know, pick the second. You don't even have to think about your feet after you've got the move right. It's get your head, bang, to second, all the way. And be quick.
Still pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah, I got 2 fake hips, need a new knee. Whose glove do I have? Where did I get the glove? Oh,
Hey Charlie, you talk about how you throw it out of your hand. Cute.
throw a knuckleball out of my hand. Yeah, I mean, okay. Grab a ball. The coach that taught me, his name was Goldie Holt, and he showed me a grip, and he showed me to hold it there, kind of splitting that seam. Okay? That's the first I went to the big leagues throwing it there. Now, when I said, what do I do? He said, throw it out of your hand. And it felt to me like that was throwing the ball out of my hand, kind of popping it out of my hand. And it got really comfortable to do that. And that was my thought, throw it out of my hand. Not kind of wish it out, it's throw it out of my hand. And then my second year throwing a knuckleball, I played with Hoyt Wilhelm, and my ball broke a lot that way, like a big curveball. And I was over on this side of the rubber, and he said, try over here and change the spot on the ball. Didn't change my grip, just turn the ball. And I could throw where it went both ways, either way. And I started it down the middle better. So, I mean, that was my thought was, pop the ball out of my hand. And even when I didn't pitch very well, I could throw a good knuckleball. My problem was getting it over. You know, the difference between me being pretty good and a Wilhelm, RA, Phil Necro at the best, would be how many times I threw it perfect. I like to throw it just as good as anybody that I think ever lived, once in a while. You know, so the difference was winning 300 and something games is how many times you throw it perfect. And those guys were, you know, better at it. That's all. It's Jack Nicklaus and a couple of guys that played on the tour pretty good, you know. I mean, that's the way I was.
Makes sense. Did you intentionally adjust speeds at all?
Yes.
in the knuckleball?
After a few years.
Okay.
Still with the diet. I threw the knuckleball basically as a regular pitcher with a knuckleball grip. In other words, I felt like, hey, fire it up there. I couldn't imagine throwing a ball with two runners on base other than throw it all I got. And I ended up with, well, I still with the Dodgers, got an emergency start in San Francisco. And traveling with us on that trip was Sandy Koufax. You know, Sandy may be the ultimate fastball pitcher, right? And sitting in the clubhouse, he said before the game, he said, why don't you throw some of those slow ones like you do messing around? You're nuts. That's what I felt like. I'm not throwing the ball slow to one of these guys. He said, oh yeah, try it. And I did that day. I got somebody with two strikes on him. Jack Clark, I think was the first time I just lobbed it up there. And he hit a ground ball, a little roller to third. And I went, wow. I could throw, it's like a changeup.
Yeah.
Which I think is the hardest thing to judge as a hitter, is how fast is it coming. So if you can throw it 98 and throw the ball 90 or 85 with the exact same look, does exactly the same thing, except it dies. It's incredibly hard to judge. You know, the best hitters in the game, the two things I would say you do to them to get them out is real hard in and then a straight change. How do you judge? You know, you only got a split second to judge it. Yeah. And they do it pretty well, but you can mess them up with that change of speed. Yeah, so I learned to change speed with a knuckleball. It's one of the reasons I tell the guys to throw it slow for a while.
Yeah.
Throw it slow, then learn to throw it as hard as you can. Pretty simple.
Yeah.
It's just pitching. It's not, you're not a knuckleball pitcher, you're a pitcher that's your best pitch. You know, that was my sign for a knuckleball. One.
Yeah.
Okay, so I always thought of it as that's my fastball, 1. Yeah. And if I did throw it once, I didn't call it fastball, it's straight.
Faster ball.
Yeah, yeah.
What sign would the catcher give you if you were not gonna? Yeah.
I would change them with catchers. Always 1 for a knuckleball, and it'd be 2 fastball, 3 slider, and a little change thing that I'd throw once in a while. But usually 2 and 3, fastball and slider. And usually they were doubles. You know? I hope I get the ball back.
Chuck and duck.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope I get another one. We good? All right. Thank you all for coming.